I used to think the key to success was meeting as many people as possible. Events, DMs, Zooms, you name it, and I was doing it. I was everywhere, but at the same time, I was completely burnt out. But then I realised I was doing it all wrong. And I realised that the best networking strategy is actually fewer, deeper relationships. So I'm about to tell you how I have transformed my business using this new strategy in this video, so stay tuned. So many entrepreneurs do this. They feel like the more people they meet, the better their chances of landing business. So they attend absolutely everything. They do the networking breakfast, they go to every lunch, every dinner, they go to panels, they go to meetups, they go to evening events, they just go to everything they possibly can. And they hand out their business cards, they work the room, speak to as many people. But what is the actual result? It's overwhelm. It's no meaningful follow-up. It's a giant pile of names and no meaningful connection. It's the same as this social pressure of constantly being seen or known. And now it's like you post all these events on social media and it looks like you're popular and you're cool and you're out there doing something, but all you're doing is getting exhausted from it. And in social, the narrative is grow your following, get bigger, scale, do all these kind of things, but growth does not equal depth. And I'm about to show you why this is a big difference. You don't need more people, you need the right people and a deeper relationship with them. So I had this big realization the other day that pretty much all of my biggest opportunities came from people I already knew. It wasn't from new people I was out and about getting to know briefly or for a fleeting moment at a networking event. It was people already in my network. And I started to reach out to people I haven't spoken to in a long time, and I thought, I really like this person, why have I lost touch with them? So I started doing this, and I started doing this accidentally. I started doing it because I actually did this with my friends. It was not a business thing. I was like, there were so many people in my life that I missed because I've been running a business, and I'm gonna make the effort this year and try and reach out to them and have catch-ups with them. So I started doing this in business connections, and there were so many people in my network that I really liked and I just hadn't spoken to in a while. So I booked in one-to-ones, I had coffees, I even just voice noted them on WhatsApp, just reconnected with them, and no pressure, no agenda, just connection and seeing what happened. And what happened was magical, to be honest. So I even had someone reach out to me after several years from the agency world, and we just met up for coffee, and it turned out that she opened up a restaurant on the side, and that restaurant was one that I'd actually been trying to get in touch with, one that I wanted to host my lunches or dinners at and my chess and wine evenings at, and it turns out she's now the owner of that restaurant. So reconnected, went there, and it was beautiful. And another person, I've been trying to build my own custom chess set for a long time, and been umming and ahhing with other companies who have been offering to partner with me, but they just haven't been right. And I just reached out to someone I met several years ago who I really liked and offered to do a collaboration with me, and I never followed up. And so I decided, I thought I'd reach out, and we had a coffee, got on super duper well, values massively aligned, and now planning something super exciting together. And then I looked back at some of the collabs that never happened and people we just got too busy to meet. And so I reached out to some, I booked in a coffee the other day, didn't expect anything of it, and that coffee turned out to be an amazing conversation. We had so many things in common, values aligned, and now we're planning so many different collabs. They're coming on as one of my book club authors, we're doing a podcast together, and it was just so natural, and I was thinking, why didn't we do this before? So for me, follow-up is the new business strategy, not the introduction. So I'm going to write you a new networking plan that I want you to try and follow, and just try it out and see how it goes. So number one is to audit your current network. So what I want you to do is write down 20 names, just 20. You don't need to go for 200, 500, 20 names. People you've met in the last couple of years who you really vibed with, who you thought you actually genuinely liked. Don't think about ladder climbing, none of that. Just think, who did you genuinely vibe with and genuinely liked? I want you to write down those 20 names, and I want you to reach out to them. So I want you to reach out with intention. And what I mean by this is, I don't want you to pitch though. It's no pitching, none of that sort of stuff. It's just like, hey, I was thinking about you. I actually really liked X and when we met at Y, and you just want to reach out to catch up. Just have a curiosity call or a coffee and genuinely just make the connection to see if that vibe is still there. And then you never know where things land. I never pitch or never ever go into conversations with any intention in that sense. But my intention is to connect. That is the intention. It's just to get to know them as a person. So whilst this bit seems a bit perfunctory, like you're treating them all as a pipeline, it's really just to make sure that you're keeping on track of things, because when you're running a business and doing a million things, you always want to track almost everything. So I like to use Notion or HubSpot CRM or even Google Sheets, right? You can just track who you're meeting. But the idea is that you don't forget about people. It's to track who you've met and find out things about them, literally keep tabs on them to find out who their target audience are, or like who they want to meet, what are their difficulties, and see if you can help solve their problems. And so you just keep track of them and then make sure you try to make a follow-up every 2 to 3 months even, but just don't lose contact with them. Keep building those relationships of the people that you genuinely want to get to know and you want in your network. So if you're keeping those tabs on your people accurately, then you have all the information for them. So I want you to make introductions. I want you to look through that and think, can I solve some of their problems? Do I know some of the people that they want to be introduced to? And make those intros. Genuinely be there for them. See how helpful you can be there for them. Not only does it feel amazing to help out other people, but that energy will come back to you tenfold. It always does. And I think that people go in with a transactional mindset and think, oh, if I've introduced them, they have to introduce me. No, don't think like that. I just do things for other people and it naturally comes back to you. You don't even know when it comes back to you, but putting that stuff out there, it will always come back. I think self-reflection is one of the most important bits, and if you're not reflecting, you don't know what's going on and then you leave it too long. So I try to do it monthly now. I'm looking back and I'm like, did I deepen any of those relationships? Who do I want to get to know better? Did I get to know more about that person? If not, how do I get to know more about that person? So look back and think about, do you want to add another 20 people if you feel like, those few weren't the right fit for you, or you want to get to know more better and you've got a bit more time? You can keep doing this all the time, but make sure you're constantly reflecting, constantly updating. So let's face it, no one wants to be networked at, right? They want to get to know people and have real relationships. And it's so easy to get FOMO when you see everyone having those like selfies at events and they're all kind of doing cool things, but behind closed doors, nothing's really happening. Real relationships are built on trust, not just visibility. The numbers game is dangerous. It leads to transactional behavior and completely drains your energy. And the social media narrative is what to blame, right? Everything's about growth, everything's like growing your following, having more people. If you start to see content like this, mute that content. Curate your feed and don't have any of that energy in your network. I want to see you build real connections, meaningful connections, ones that are going to lead to actual business, but also just mutually beneficial relationships down the line. I've got so many people who've never referred me business, but are so impactful to my day-to-day business life, whether it's advice or just being there for me, accountability, all that sort of stuff, and just knowing that you're not alone. Those are the relationships that you really want. The most valuable business asset you've got is not your following, it's your relationships. Don't chase people, just nurture the ones who are already around you. There's a reason why there's that phrase that goes around saying your network is your net worth, because it's true. If I could go back 10 years and give myself a piece of advice, it'd be stop collecting and start connecting. So if you're ready to build real relationships instead of chasing down leads, then today just start with one message, one coffee, that's it. Comment below and say who is one person that you really want to connect with in your network, or think about someone that you've had a really impactful time with and you want to reach out to. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. And if you've liked this video, please do hit like and subscribe, especially if you want more real, authentic advice like this instead of just the highlight reel.